I had a buddy at work. He recently went on a trip, came back, and immediately, you could tell when he got there and when he got back to work, he wasn't looking too hot. You'd think that like something was wrong with him or something was going on. And my stomach's bothering me. He went on like a week-long trip to a family destination, and he was like, "Yeah, my stomach's been bothering me. Like, I don't know what's going on. Blah blah blah." And like, I have this problem too, where even though your stomach's bothering you, you're just a very trustworthy guy. You know, you don't think your body would betray you, but it happens every now and then where your body betrays you. And this guy trusted his body and tried to squeeze out a little toot, and he ended up shitting his pants at work, right on a couch that everyone sits at. Welcome back to the No One's Watching podcast. If you are new here, my name is Mike, and if you don't know who I am, good, you shouldn't. And you're not even supposed to be watching this. So I'm just going to kind of pick up where I left off for the people that maybe have watched this. Last week, I opened up with talking about starting training for the Philadelphia Marathon. I'll do a quick rundown. So basically, told my wife asked me what I wanted to do for my birthday. The Philadelphia Marathon ran on my birthday. I joined the wait list 4 days later. I'm running it. I'm actually supposed to be running it. I'm no longer on the wait list. And I am in the middle of my second week of training, and it's been a ride. So yeah, I mean, so basically from from where I was last week, it's been a lot of kind of ramp up on the miles. I was averaging about 10 miles a week, and now I'm gonna be approaching somewhere around 15 miles this week, which is about a 50% increase. So it been a little bit rough, or it was rough towards the beginning, where it was 2 runs, about, I would say 15K in 2 days, if I remember correctly. And the knees were not feeling good. But I had a couple days on Monday was more of a stretching and strength day, kind of get those ankles and knees and all the joints ready. I had a nice little light 5.5K on Tuesday, and then yesterday or Wednesday, there's another strength and mobility day. And today we had our first tempo day, which is very interesting. But I know you guys are dying, and you guys are wondering if there is anyone out there. You guys are curious about the shoes. Now, I ran into some problems with shoes. Was running on the wrong type of shoe. Ended up getting them changed out. I guess at the beginning of the last pod, I ran once with them. But now I've run with them a couple times, and let me tell you, it's a world of a difference. They're fantastic. I love them, and the shoes are doing good. So we're going to ride out with these shoes all the way until November, and they're a nice color too. So just white, red, and some black accents, pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, most of my running so far has been in zone 2, which is I think 60 to 70% of your heart rate or something like that. I have no idea. I just know if I go above my zone 2, my watch tells me, and I slow down a little bit. But yeah, most of my running's been in zone 2, so you can imagine someone who's a little bit heftier. I think I would fit into the Clydesdale bracket for runners. So yeah, I'm like 250 pounds. So my zone 2 running at my 60% of my heart rate max would be somewhere around 11:30 to a 13:30 minute mile. So like a 3-mile run will take me 45 minutes, which is kind of absurd. It's very, very, very long time, especially from like my military background. You had to run a physical fitness test on a yearly basis, and the physical fitness test for my branch was 3 miles, and I think my best time ever was around a 7-minute 15-second pace, somewhere give or take a couple seconds there. So going from a 7-minute mile, the last time that I ran, actually ran, and now slowing down by about 5 to 6 minutes has been treacherous on my ego. But I also was 50 pounds lighter at the time, so can't really be. I mean, I guess 10 pounds a minute if you think about it. But yeah, and I also during this time, I announced to the family that I'm going to be doing this marathon in November. And I would like any support if people wanted to show up or whatever. And immediately just got hounded by the family. And they're just like, you're gonna run a marathon? I'm just like, you guys obviously don't know who I am, right? Like, and they're saying like, oh, why not try a 5K? I'm just like, 5K? I'm like, my grandmother, I'm pretty sure my grandma still runs 5Ks. That's a lie. She definitely doesn't. She's 84. But I think my grandma could walk a 5K. So why would I ever want to do something that my grandma could maybe do? You know what I mean? And then the next one was, why not a 10K? I'm like, 10, like sure, like I could do a 10K, but like, I'm gonna get a nice little pat on the back. And then somebody gave a bold idea of why not try a half marathon. And I'm like, you people don't know me at all. I've been around you guys have known me for a long time now, and you recommend a half marathon. I'm like, what's the point of a half marathon, you know? I'm just like, what am I gonna do, run a half marathon just to say that I made it halfway, you know? And I'm a person of extremes. Like, I joined the military. I wasn't like a guy who was just like, hey, like I'm like those guys who do like a JROTC and they're like, my dad was in the Air Force. I'm gonna be in the Air Force. You're talking to a future U.S. Army soldier. Like, I wasn't one of those guys at all. I had no intention of ever joining the military. It was just at that point in my life, seemed like it made sense. And I kind of decided, dropped 50 pounds in 3 months and shipped. Like, I was like, it was quick turnaround on that. And it's kind of like how I like to do things, you know? Just make a choice, make an outlandish claim to do something that I absolutely should not be doing, and then do it. You know, I think that's fun. You know, that makes things a little bit interesting. But yeah, I mean, going back into the training, like today was my first tempo day, and it felt absolutely fantastic because I've been running the zone 2 for about like 2 months now of just nonstop zone 2, which is like real slow and monotonous. Like I said, 11:30 to 13:30 minute miles, very slow, and it's like comfortable, you know. It's like I'm not killing myself, and like I'm like surviving, but. You know, sometimes you just want to let the horses run, you know? Like, you just gotta, like I felt like a gazelle out there today, and I wasn't running anything fast. Like, it goes by kilometers, and I was running, I think my fastest kilometer was about a 6:25, which is not fast by any means. It's around a 10-minute mile, but like just to open the gates, not stare at the heart rate the whole time, and just open up a little bit. Felt fantastic. Also, today was the first day that I tried to run without having any nicotine in my system. And the reason for that is because, like I said, bigger guy. I've always had a problem with overheating. And over here on the East Coast, it is starting to warm up, the East Coast of the United States, and it's starting to warm up a little bit. So I just wanted, I was just looking to see, like, why is this happening? Is there anything that I'm doing that would affect me? And I'm an avid nicotine user. I've been for a while, but I use like pouches, and I was noticing I was overheating a lot faster. It would be like a distance that I would run in 60 degrees. I'm doing no problem, but as soon as it's 80 degrees, I'm dying. Vision's going in and out. It's just like I feel like I'm teleporting around the loop that I'm doing. So I looked it up, and it appears that nicotine constricts your blood vessels, which ultimately affects your body's cooling down system. So nicotine is not helping me on that front. So I mean, today was relatively cool. When I was running, it was about 60 degrees. So I don't know if it did anything for me. I felt really good, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna test it out. I did order some ultra pouches. Hate that I have to order them. Not gonna lie, I'd like to go to like a store that's local and just buy them. I hate. That's a consumable to me, and like that I'm gonna run through, like I run through one can once every 2 days. Like I have one in constantly. Like there is no break. The only time there's a break is when I'm sleeping, and half the time that's not true. Like I have one in. I'll wake up at 5 a.m., put one in, go back to sleep. Like that's like I'm severely addicted to nicotine. So I mean, maybe getting off nicotine would be good in a bunch of different ways, but I'm gonna do it for the running. I want to do it for the running and the cooling down benefits. You know, I feel like that would be beneficial, and I don't want to be dying all summer long and be on the verge of like heat exhaustion or anything like that, because I've been there. Not fun. It's happened to me multiple times, and you fear for your life. You don't know if you're going to be able to cool yourself down. So you do crazy stuff like take your shirt off in the middle of and a big boy, right? I was 275 not too long ago. Take your shirt off in the middle of a driving range to try to cool down because you feel like your shirt is a boa constrictor and it's choking the life out of you. And then you just blast an AC in your car with your shirt off. People are looking at you like, what the hell's going on? And I was at a driving range. Like, I hit a bucket of balls and I was out for the count, you know? Life was flashing before my eyes. But anyway, kind of want to do something that's kind of like a little bit of more of an interactive thing this time around. I've never tried anything like this, so I kind of want to do a nice little CTA, a little call to action for all the big boys that are running out there. I would appreciate any tips that I can get that would be helpful to a plus size runner, if you will, a fat body runner like me. You know, if there are any big boys out there, and big boys, I would say somewhere like if you're 200 pounds, you're not a big boy to me. You know what I mean? But if you're like 220 plus, and you have any tips on different types of really anything, you know, like if you also have problems like cooling down in the heat, or if I don't bring any water with me, is that something I should be doing? Obviously, when I get to like longer distances, like I think the longest distance, my long run for next week is about a 9K, which is a little under, I believe, 6 miles. Well, you just do the math real quick. 9 times 6 is 54. So it's like going to be like 5.5 and some change. So probably a little under 6 miles, maybe 6. I'll probably should bring some water with me, see if I remember. But yeah, do you bring water with you? Are you using electrolytes at a certain mileage, like over a certain mileage? Are you bringing like electrolytes? How are you? There's like so much that goes into this that like I don't even know about. Like I said, I've never done any distance. I've done 10 miles and it was brutal, and it was just awful, a whole awful experience. But yeah, so if there are any big boys out there, preferably 220 plus that have any running tips, I would greatly appreciate any running tips. I thought about being more aggressive in that CTA and saying something like, "Hey, fat boy, yeah, do you run? I'd like some tips if you got them." See, like I feel like that's a little too aggressive. Probably get people to watch a little bit longer though for like the shorts and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I would appreciate anything that anyone can give me. No one's supposed to be watching this, but if there is, and you happen to be someone who's got a decently high BMI and you run, let me know what you got. But yeah, I'm really enjoying so far the marathon prep. I didn't ever think that I would like running. I always told myself that I wasn't a runner. Obviously, that got squashed when I joined the military and I had to run. So I kind of came to the realization that you can really kind of do anything. You just have to do it, and you have to do it repeatedly, and you have to do it consistently, and you'll be able to get to make some progress. And you can see, like, I think the first mile I ever ran, like seriously, was like a 9:30. And that wouldn't make the cut for the physical fitness test, so I had to bust my butt a little bit and try to get and that was just 1 mile. Like I ran 1 mile at a 9:30 pace, and that was the fastest that I could go. But later on, obviously, 7-minute, 15-second miles, and then the fastest mile that I ever ran was about a 6:55, just a solo mile, and I was a big boy at that time too. So yeah, if you ever thought you weren't a runner, just start doing it. You know, do a Couch to 5K program. You'll be able to run in no time. It starts out real easy, like too, with like you're running for like max like 5 minutes in like a 25-minute span. So it's really like not even that hard of a thing to do. Like I said, start at 275. So there's that. I kind of want to get into some thoughts that I had with, you know, different things. You know, when you're like driving or you're in the shower and it's your place to think, and like things just pop into your head. You know, and I was driving to work. I have a long commute. I have about an hour commute every day, and I was thinking about the song Yonkers by Tyler, the Creator came on, and like I haven't heard that song in forever. An absolute certified banger though, and I just haven't thought about that song in forever. And I was like, and immediately in my head popped up the first time that I ever saw the music video. Like it's like a pretty iconic music video, where he's like sitting in a chair. It's a black and white video, and he's eating like a cockroach and shit. You know what I mean? Like he's just munching on a bug in a music video, and it got me thinking. It's like I feel like a lot of people know the first time they saw the video because it was so different. And just to let you know what kind of brain that I have, the first thing I thought about was Yonkers is the 2 Girls 1 Cup of music videos. Now that sounds crazy, but I said it, and I think it's true, because I feel like it's the same vibe, right? So obviously they're both eating stuff, right? Totally different stuff, but not too different. I wouldn't eat either one of them. And but yeah, it's like the same overall vibe, and like the feeling that you got when you first watched it. Maybe not the same exact feeling. One is a little more graphic than the other, right? But I feel like everyone who's seen them, they knew where they were. Like I tell you, I was at my buddy's house. I could tell you about the whole day, but I'll just keep it short. I was at my buddy's house, and he just got a new 27-inch flat screen television, and I've been around for a while, so that was pretty cool to have in your room, right? He's like, nice little 27-inch in the room. So he's like, boys, come over. Like, let's watch some TV on my new TV. That's what you did. I was probably in like middle school or whatever, and pop on MTV when they used to play music videos, and Yonkers was on. That was like tail end MTV, I feel like, that played music videos, but Yonkers was on there, and we were watching Yonkers. That was the first time I ever seen the music video. I think the first time I may have even heard the song was on that 27-inch in my buddy's house. So I remember exactly where I was, and I could tell you where I was when I watched 2G1C, if you will. And I remember my sister, I have an older sister, she told me about it, or didn't really tell me about it. She said, hey, come here and watch this, and on the family computer. You just take advantage of the family computer. You know what I mean? Like I feel like everyone that's around my age had and all the young people probably hear stories about it all the time, like a LimeWire, and just like downloading any songs that you could find via LimeWire, and you'd have to download 5 different versions to get the version that you were looking for, and 4 out of those 5 versions gave you some type of malware or virus on your computer, and eventually you just had a blue screen running. But it was ahead of its time. It was free music, allegedly. I don't pirate anything, and like half of it would be like it'd be like someone's cover to a song. I don't even remember what songs would be on there, but yeah, getting back to it. I feel like everyone knows where they were when they saw Yonkers. I definitely know that everyone knows where they were the first time they saw 2G1C. My sister called me over. She said, hey, come watch this. And I'm like, what is it? And she's like, just watch. And I think it was the first time in my life. I was young enough where it was the first time in my life where I think I dry heaved. I had to be somewhere around 10 or 11 years old. And I didn't know how they made the feces look like ice cream. That's the thing that I was curious about. Now I don't know if my memory is fleeting or not, but I feel like that's something that you just don't forget. But this is disgusting to talk about. But yeah, let me know if you agree. Yonkers is the 2G1C of music videos. Tell me if you remember where you were. Don't really know how to. I know I need to get away from this topic, but I just really don't know how to make a clean transition from. Actually, I had a buddy at work. He recently went on a trip, came back, and immediately you could tell when he got there and when he got back to work, he wasn't looking too hot. So you'd think that like something was wrong with him or something was going on. And he's like, yeah, my stomach's bothering me. He went on like a week-long trip to a family destination, and he was like, yeah, my stomach's been bothering me. Like, I don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And like, I have this problem too, where even though your stomach's bothering you, you're just a very trustworthy guy. You don't think your body would betray you, but it happens every now and then where your body betrays you. And this guy trusted his body and tried to squeeze out a little toot, and he ended up shitting his pants at work right on a couch that everyone sits at. So yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of relates to what I was just talking about. But yeah, so he ended up shitting his pants at work on one of my favorite chairs or my favorite couches or like seats in the place that I work at. So I was kind of bummed out about that, and I'll probably forget about it, and I'll end up sitting in that on that couch again anyway. But yeah, and so he was a little messed up, and he ended up going home, calling out for the next couple of days, and he ended up telling us stories about what ensued over the next couple of days. And he was claiming the amount of times he went to the bathroom in the triple digits. I don't know if I believe that. That seems a little steep for me. I've been there. I've had some my fair share of stomach issues and problems like that, and I've never gone triple digits. Maybe definitely double digits, but triple digits is seems like fabrication to me. But anyway, he told me that one of these times he was sleeping in bed, and happens to the best of us. A lot of you like that definitely doesn't happen, but it does. It definitely does happen, and I know that from experience because it happened to me. And when he told me the story, I was like, hey man, I'm just happy that I'm not the only one that happened to this year. You know, yeah, no, we have another friend at work, and he's like, man, I don't know why he's going around and he's telling everybody, like that this happened to him. Like you'd have to literally like rip it out of me, like over my dead body. Am I going to tell you that I shit in my bed? And I was like, yeah, man, I don't know. He's messed up. You know, you can't really. He's like, how do you even do that? Like you're a grown man. You shouldn't be. You know, like, hey man, like you don't know. You don't know what was happening. He's claiming triple digit bathroom visits. You don't know what he was going through. You don't know what the situation was, so on and so forth. He's like, yeah, man, you think something that would only happen to someone who has Hantavious? And I was like, what the hell is Hantavious? And he's like, he's like that virus that people had on that cruise had. And I was like, do you mean Hantavirus? And he was like, yeah, Hantavirus. And I was like, brother, who is Hantavious? I was like, I think I went to high school with Hantavious. I was like, are you sure that like you weren't like watching the NFL draft or something and like Hantavious got drafted 3rd overall? You know what I mean? Like Hantavious is absolutely nuts. But yeah, I was like, I don't think he has Hantavirus, or now what I like to call is Hantavious. That's the only way I'll refer to it in the future. But yeah, I mean, so I was like, I don't think he has Hantavious. I think he's just having a little rough time, you know. Sometimes people go to destinations, they drink the water, or just the travel does it to them. You get tired from travel, you catch a bug, and then you're shitting the bed. Yeah, I mean, it happens to the best of us. It's definitely, like I said, happened to me. What else? Yeah, but I mean, this is the 4th episode of the No One's Watching podcast, and honestly, I wasn't entirely sure that it was going to make it this far. You know, technically, we are in the top 90 or top 10% of all podcasts ever. Saw that stat somewhere, so I don't know if it's true, but technically 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 3, so look at us. Now, I know no one is experiencing this with me, and no one is probably as excited as I am. It doesn't seem... It sounds like a huge feat, but it's really not that big of a feat, you know, because it's only the 4th episode. But I believe that 90% don't make it past episode 3. So technically, I'm a top 10 or a top 10% podcast of all time. And that sounds pretty cool, you know. Now, as long as we can get people to obviously continue to not watch this, then we can get all the way. I think the next milestone would be, I think it's like only maybe it's like 1% or 0.1 or something. I don't know. It's another absurd thing at episode 21. So if you do more than 21 episodes, you're with the big dogs, you know. And maybe by then I'll have 21 viewers, or hopefully none. But yeah, I mean, I've been looking at like different types of content because like obviously the name of the podcast is No One's Watching, and you know, I think it's a funny bit and everything, but like obviously, like I would, if I'm posting this and I'm telling stories and stuff, and like walking people through the journey of like me running and all that kind of stuff, and even like weight loss and all that kind of stuff. You know, it'd be cool if people watched it, people thought it was interesting, and like I've been looking at different types of content that had to do with like growing and all that kind of stuff. But like it's like weird, you know, like because like I'm not doing basically like YouTube. Like all the YouTube videos are saying, hey, like you gotta have like a declared niche, and and like all the titles for all these videos are like, I grew my page to 1,000 subscribers in 9 days. I'm like, how the hell do you do that? And then it's just like, yeah, and you look at their page, and they posted that video like a month ago, and they have like 50K subscribers, and you're like, okay, well, did you have 30K subscribers, and then 9 days later you had 39,000 subscribers? Or are you saying from 0, where no one knows who you are, to get to 39K. You went from 0 to 9K from where you were at that point because you did something differently, or you started doing this. You know what I mean? So it's hard to gauge like what's actually like the truth, or if it's just like it's like kind of like the same thing as like how headlines are, where it's just like you'll never believe where this person is, and it's just like they're doing pretty well, they're doing a good job, they're not on drugs, or they are on drugs and they're doing terrible, but you know what I mean, you'll never believe what happened to this actor. It's like, all right, and it's just like it's like an unbelievable thing. Or like even with the AI stuff, it's just like Claude just changed everything with this new update. And it's like, how many times is Claude gonna change everything? You know, if 50 people a day make a video saying Claude changed everything, like I don't really think that's not really like the frame that I want to be in. And like I understand, like, okay, like that may help me get views. Like if I post, did you hear about this new virus, Hantavious? Like, are people gonna click on it? You know what I mean? But I'm not trying to scare people who are like 60 to think that like there's a new strain of hantavirus called Hantavious and it just sounds scarier than regular hantavirus. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to do that. Like I don't want it to be like, I want it to be like people see my title and they're like, what does that even mean? And then they click on my video and then they watch it and they're just like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. Like I like how this guy's brain works, but I'm not really looking for like a clickbaity. That's the word I've been talking around that for the last 5 minutes. Clickbait is the word that I'm looking for. I'm not really trying to do like, I'm not trying to like have that be my vibe, you know? Like and like all of it is all the YouTube stuff is like how to grow your YouTube channel. There's no like how to grow your solo podcast channel, and it's like even then it's like pick a niche. Well, I'm like I really don't have a niche. What fat boy who runs and talks shit, you know what I mean? Like because that's all I'm really doing, and that's just like what I'm doing right now. And the whole premise of this is like to keep track of where my mind takes me throughout the day, because I'm severely riddled with self-diagnosed ADHD. But yeah, I don't know. So it's kind of hard to find content that helps you make content that is something other than what you're looking for. You know, like I wish it was like, oh yeah, I make, because like I feel like, I'm not saying it's easy, but like I'd probably have like a subscriber that I didn't know if I was making like AI YouTube videos and just walking people through certain things like that. But like that's not really what I'm trying to do. I feel like that's not it doesn't feel like, sure, you can make some cool stuff, but it's not really like a creative thing, or it wouldn't fulfill me creatively, at least. So yeah, I mean, trying to figure out how to get more people to watch. I've had some stuff do pretty well on like shorts and like TikToks and Instagrams and stuff like that, but nothing absurd. But like I'm very confused on like how the whole algorithm works. Like I wish I can better understand it for like what I'm doing in particular, because it doesn't make sense. Like I'll put up a clip that I think is okay, you know. It's like not one of the heavy hitters, you know, that I'm trying to go with, but I'll put it up and it'll get like I've had a couple that have broken like the 800 view mark. I'm like, oh cool, 800 views. Like that's pretty cool. I'm like, maybe I can ride this wave a little bit. Hopefully the one I post tomorrow will do just as well. 7 views. I'm just like, okay, so what happened there? You know, I was like, I got 1,000 views on this video, and then I post one the next day, which could be better, in my opinion, and YouTube's like, yeah, we're not going to show it to people. And you got 7 views, and I'm just like, And it's like, how do you even get people to subscribe? Like, I subscribe to a bunch of different pages, you know, like, I just subscribe for fun sometimes. Like, if I watch more than 1 or 2 videos, I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I want to know when this guy posts again, because I'm interested enough to watch it again, but I don't really understand how to get people to watch your, like, to subscribe to stuff, you know? Again, it's free. But yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. So if you have any pointers on that, that'd be appreciated too. Like I don't really know many people who do. I don't really know anyone who does YouTube. So or let alone a podcast of any kind. And like I think I have one stream on Apple, and most of the videos that I did on YouTube are all like 10 views. in that range. It's absolutely bone dry, obviously, but episode 4, we're not expecting much. We're not really expecting it to ever do anything. You know what I mean? Like I just think it'd be cool if it did. But yeah, if anyone is out there and they are watching this, I think it'd be, let me try that again. If anyone is out there and watching this and you want to hear about some of the stuff that I've been talking about, you want me to go a little bit more in depth on certain things, let me know, whether that be like stories from like the military, or how I lost weight, or how I've been losing weight, and like what I do to from a diet standpoint to be able to lose weight, because I make it pretty simple for myself. Or if there's like different things you want me to talk about, like more, or not talk about, like Two Girls One Cup. But yeah, I mean, I hope everyone stays safe and doesn't have a run-on with Hantavious or Hantavirus. I heard Hantavious is a little more scary. But yeah, and like I said, if you are a big boy and you are running and you are watching this, and you have any tips, things that you went through, things that you would find helpful, I'd appreciate anything that I can get, because I don't know how to carb up properly. I don't know how to fuel properly. Even like I don't even stretch right now before I run. Like, I would appreciate if you could walk me through. I'm sure I could find a stretch routine, but it's like, like I want to go based on people who have done this before and not just use Claude or ChatGPT to figure it out for me. Let's have a sense of community and sociability here. To learn from a person, because they can kind of go more in depth and they kind of stay on track more than AI does. So yeah, that was episode 4, the episode that got us in the top 10% of podcasts all time. Yeah, I mean, if you're watching this, you shouldn't be. If you watched the last one, you shouldn't have. And all my socials are so YouTube, TikTok, no, not YouTube, TikTok and Instagram, and the website are all stopwatching.today. And YouTube is stopwatching-today. If you're on Apple, let me know. That's another thing. If you're on Apple Podcasts or like Spotify and you somehow stumble upon this, let me know if there's anything that you guys would want to. I'm open to hearing that. I'm not really using any visuals. If you are on Spotify or Apple, I am literally just talking at a camera with funny looking glasses on, because still scared to look at the camera. It's dark in here now. I can't really even see where the camera's at. I just know it's in this general direction here. But yeah. Alright, well, see ya.